How do you feel today? Do you feel a little bit like this picture? Is your brain like, whoa? Guess what we're talking about? Whoa! Animals, do they have brains? Who's got them? Why do they have them? What's the evolutionary adaptation or adaptations that they would need to have big brains? Let's do this. Okay, so Periphera. Let's just talk about the simplest animals. Periphera sponges. Do they have them? So I want you to write it down. Do they have them? Do they have brains? What do you think? Little filter feeders? They're just catching whatever's coming by, catching the nutrients that are coming by. They're in the ocean, not moving. So that's sessile. Do they need them? Do they need a brain? Write it down. Write it down. Okay, I want you to also write down that concept we talked about, which is symmetry. So what's their shape? Do they have a symmetry? Are they bilateral? Are they radial? Do they not have any symmetry at all? That means that they're not circular and they're not oblong, okay? They just have a funny shape. What's their symmetry? Write it down. Okay, let's look at platies. Platies are flatties, so flat worms, platyhelminthes, flatties. Do they have a brain? Check out their shape. What's their shape? Are they round? Okay. What's their symmetry? Are they bilateral? That's the long shape. You don't have to worry about the spelling. Just get the idea. Do they have a brain? Would they need a brain? Do they move? Start thinking about, like, what does it mean to have a brain? Like, why even have a brain? What good is a brain? It gives us all this anxiety. What good is a brain? Start to think about that. Awesome. So if we go back, one of these two shapes is going to rock the world, my friends. If we go back, so from an evolutionary perspective, look at these two shapes. Now we're looking at symmetry. We're looking at symmetry. So look at the radial symmetry, that's the circular one, and then look at the bilateral symmetry. They have the same, basically it's the same structure. One of them's long, bilateral, one of them's round. Who do you think might create a brain and why? Stop. Think about it. Why? Why might you have a brain for one of these shapes? And what we're going to see, we're going to use a term called cephalization. Don't worry about it. It's in your notes. But something magical is going to happen just based on the shape, which is super simple, right? Okay, what we're going to do is write down, and maybe we're going to use the chat box, but we're going to write down what is alive in the room we're in. Plants, animals, pets. And then we're going to play the symmetry and cephalization game, the social. Let's discuss their symmetry and their, do they have a brain and why? Let's talk about it. I'll see you in class.